Hi guys, welcome again to another video. In this video, we'll be talking about binomial probability distribution.
Minus 2 by minus 3, 6y, you end up with 5x plus 2.
But before we go there, let's try to analyze this problem first, okay? Find the probability of tossing a fair coin 4 times where there are exactly 3 heads. So this is the same as asking, what is the probability of getting 3 heads in tossing a coin 4 times? Ano yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng 3 heads in tossing a coin 4 times? Okay, so kung isosolve natin yung probability na yun, normally we're going to do this, right? Gagawa tayo ng tree diagram para ma-generate natin lahat ng mga possible outcomes. So, first toss, second toss, third toss, and of course, we are going to extend it until the 4th toss. And then, after mo natapos yung tree diagram, kailangan pa natin isulat yung mga possible outcomes. Okay, so, like kagaya nito, H, yan. And then, after nating nalaman lahat ng mga possible outcomes, titingnan natin isa-isa yung mga outcomes kung alin doon, kung ilan doon ang may 3 heads. Tapos yun, di ba? It's actually a lot of work. So doon na actually papasok si binomial experiment. So yung problem natin kanina is an example of a binomial experiment. So ano ba yung mga properties ng isang binomial experiment? Okay, so number 1, each experiment consists of n repeated trials. So doon naman sa problem natin, we have 4 trials. We have to toss the coin 4 times. And then the second property, each trial results in 2 possible outcomes that may be classified as a success or failure. Okay, so each trial, each toss coin, may 2 possible outcomes, okay? So yung 2 possible outcomes na yun, it can be classified as success or failure. Sa case nung problem natin kanina, yung success natin doon ay yung makakuha ng head. Because we are like looking for the probability of getting 3 heads, di ba? So yung success doon ay getting heads. Third property, the probability of a success, denoted by P, remains the same from trial to trial. So, hindi nag-iiba yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng head in each toss coin. Diba? And the fourth property, each trial is independent of the previous trial. So, the probability of the previous trials doesn't affect the probability of the succeeding trials, kind of like independent events. So, this is the formula. It looks a little bit complicated, but let's look into that by answering this problem. So, gagamitin na natin yung formula na to solve this problem, okay? So, find the probability of tossing a fair coin 4 times where there are exactly 3 heads. Okay, so first step is, of course, we need to identify the given. So, n, sabi dito sa formula, n is the number of trials. So, ilan ba ang trials natin? Actually, there are 4 because we have to toss the coin 4 times. X naman is the number of successes among n trials. So, yung success sa problem is yung makakuha ng head. And ilan ba yung success na kailangan natin? We need exactly 3 heads. Okay, so that's what we are going to substitute in place of x. And we have here P, the probability of success in one of the n trials. So may 4 tayong trials. In each trial, ano ba yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng head? Okay, so that is a toss coin. What is the probability of getting a head? Is actually 1/2, okay? And Q naman is the probability of failure in one of the n trials. So in each trial, ano ba yung probability na hindi tayo makakakuha ng head? Okay, so since that is a coin, 1/2 din yan. Okay, so 1/2 yun yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng head. 1/2 naman yung probability na hindi tayo makakakuha ng head. So na-determine na natin yung mga given, na-determine na natin yung mga kailangan natin sa formula na we are now ready to substitute. So the probability of getting 3 heads. Okay, so let's substitute it in the given formula. So dito is n, and our x is 3. it might be your first time to encounter this notation, but this is actually combination. So later on, I'm going to show you how you're going to input this in the calculator. And then the p is 1/2. Let's use parentheses. And that p is raised to x. So yung 1/2 raised to x, yung x natin ay 3. So let's place 3 there. And then we have here q, the probability of failure, and that is 1/2. So we're going to substitute 1/2 in place of q. And then that 1/2 is raised to n minus x. Yung n natin ay 4. And then yung x natin ay 3. So 4 minus 3. So actually, pwede na natin tong idiretso sa calculator. So walang ganitong symbol sa calculator, pero meron yung ganito. 4 taken 3. Okay, so this notation is actually equal to this notation right here. Okay, so that is 4 combination 3 or 4 taken 3. I-simplify muna natin yung mga pwede nating i-simplify. 1/2. That's raised to 3. And then another 1/2. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. Okay, so ganito lang yan. Use parentheses. 4. And then I'm going to press shift. Hanapin yung NCR. Okay, so nandito siya. Okay, so sa aking calculator, nandito siya. I'm going to press that. Okay, nag-shift muna ako para ma-activate yung function na yun. And then 3. So 4C3. And then, of course, we have there a fraction, which is 1/2 raised to 3. And another fraction, which is 1/2 raised to 1. Kung yung exponent ay 1, it doesn't really affect anything. Okay, so we don't need to put it here. And equals, the answer is 1/4. So the probability of getting exactly 3 heads in tossing a coin 4 times is 1/4. Okay, so that's how we're going to use the formula. Okay, so let's have another problem. Find the probability of tossing a fair coin 4 times where there appears at most 2 heads. Okay, so actually this is a very similar problem with the previous one. Pero dito yung sinusolve natin na probability is yung makakakuha ng at most 2 heads. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng at most 2 heads? When we say at most, that is maximum of 2 heads, okay? Or we can also term it this way, 2 or less, okay? At most 2 heads, that means 2 heads or less. So dito, hindi lang natin kukunin yung probability na makakakuha siya ng 2 head, kundi kukunin din natin yung probability na makakakuha siya ng 1 head. Bakit? Kasi nga at most 2 heads, maximum of 2, hindi lang natin kino-consider yung 2 heads, kundi pati din yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng less than 2. So less than 2 heads, yun ay yung kung makakakuha tayo ng 1 head or 0 heads. I hope that's clear. So if we're going to identify the given, ganito po yan. Ito yung general na given nila. There are 4 trials. Yung x is yung number of success. So yun yung magkakaiba sa kanilang tatlo. Kasi yung x dito is 2, yung x dito is 1, and then yung x dito is 0. Okay? And we have here p, which is the probability of success in each trial. So 1/2. And q, which is the probability of failure in each trial. And that is also 1/2, since that is a toss coin, okay? So now we are ready to substitute it in the formula. So unahin natin yung probability na makakakuha siya ng 2 heads. So n is 4, raised to x, which is success, and then another half, which is q, which is n minus x, and then 4, and then x natin. So i-substitute naman natin yung mga given nung next na probability. So for this time, yung x natin 1/2, raised to x, yung x natin 1, you need to write it, and then half of that, n minus x, yung n natin ay 4, x natin ay 1. And then to the last one, 4 combination 0. 1 half. Yung x natin here is 0. So we're going to substitute 0 into x. And then n minus x. Yung n natin ay 4, x natin ay 0. So 4 minus 0. So we can actually write it this way. So i-simplify ko na lang tong mga exponent nila para diretso input na sa calculator later. 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. Let's input it in the calculator. So input natin muna yung ito. Okay, so 4 combination 2 times 1 half raised to 2 times 1 half raised to 2. Press equals, we're going to list the answer. Okay, so yung sagot dito is 3 over 8. And then next, let's compute naman yung probability na makakakuha siya ng 1 head. So input natin yon sa calculator. Okay. So actually, pwede ko na lang gamitin yung in-input ko kanina. So palitan ko lang yung mga values ni x. So dito for combination 1, and then the exponent here is, palitan natin ng 1. And then dito naman, the exponent is 3. And so I can now press equals. The answer there is 1/4. And then last one, gamitin ko lang yung input natin kanina. So 4 combination 0 times 1 half raised to 0. Any number raised to 0 except 0 is 1. And 1 half raised to 4. Press equals. The answer is 1 over 16. Okay. So are we done? Well, actually not yet. Kasi i-add pa natin yung mga probabilities na yan. So in mathematics, if you encounter or, okay, yung conjunction na or na yan, kapag ka may ganyan sa problem, that means addition ang involved. Sinabi dito na at most 2 heads, and at most 2 heads, it means 2 or less. We are going to add the probabilities. Okay, so i-add natin yung 3/8 plus 1/4 plus 1 over 16. Yun ang magiging final answer. So, calculator ko na siya. So, the final answer here is 11 over 16. Okay, so if we're solving probability problems at may sinabing at most or at least, we're going to add the probabilities. So that is how we're going to solve problems like that using that formula. It seems very difficult, but for you to make things easier, you have to identify the given first. So kung na-identify mo na yung given, mas madali na sa'yo ang pag-substitute, and of course, dapat alam mong mag-input sa calculator. Okay, so that is all for now. See you in the next video.